Hey guys, Justin here. I'm in Elizabeth Quay right now. And this is outside of Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. There's the entrance right there. And it's finally time. Now you can see the sky just got bright. Now it's 7:30 in the morning and it's freezing. So that's why. But the reason why I start so early, of course, there will be a reason for that. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers for already 1 to 2 weeks already. Actually, it's not 1 to 2 weeks. It's been a while for 500 subscribers. It's still that around there, but it's time for our subscriber special. So, you guys know, if you are actually watching my videos since Hong Kong time, you know that in Hong Kong there is a challenge that we call 10 trips, 10 stops. So that's why we're gonna try to do it here in Perth this time. But this is a subscriber special. So of course we're not just gonna do 10 trips, 10 stops. It's just, plus actually we won't be doing 10 trips, 10 stops here in Perth. We're gonna do it actually, we've got transit officers. Let's actually walk up first because we got transit officers came out. So let's just walk up to this park here. All right, so we're not gonna just do 10 trips, 10 stops here in Perth because even if normal situations are gonna do this thing, 10 trips, 10 stops is a little too little, not enough for Perth because every single route here stops literally almost every single stop except the limited stops, but there's so little limited stops. Every single route literally they stops like every single stop along the road. In Hong Kong we don't do that, so that's why 10 trips in Hong Kong, 10 trips 10 stops is all we need. But here 10 stops is a little too little, so that's why we're not going to do 10 stops. We're just going to do called a Buscation challenge here in Perth. How the rules is basically you set usually it's 10 trips, 10 stops. So that's why I just take 10 trips randomly and take 10 stops every single route. So basically you choose the starting point, which you guys have chosen Elizabeth Quay this time. A little tired. So that's why we're going to start here at Elizabeth Quay, and then we're going to take whatever the first bus is that departs, we take that for amount of stops. And then after you get off after the amount of stops, you get off and wait for the second trip at the exact same stop. Don't move. Okay, that's the base rule, and you take for how many stops you want, and basically 10 trips, 10 stops. But here today, it is the 500 subscriber special. So that's why we're gonna do something very crazy. I have thought about it, and we're gonna do not just 10 trips, 10 stops, not just anything. We're gonna do 500 stops in this buscation. Yes, 500 stops. Now, how to calculate 500 stops? I already calculated that out. I'm gonna do 20 trips, 25 stops. So that's why, yes, here we are in Elizabeth Quay, and I'm gonna do 20 trips, 25 stops this time. This is a crazy challenge. I'm not gonna finish in one day. I'm gonna continue tomorrow because I don't want to be too late and the sun is gonna set, and I don't really like that. So I'm gonna start here at Elizabeth Quay. We'll take the first bus and we're gonna start from there. We're gonna take 25 stops every single trip. Now, there are exceptions for this challenge. So the rules are down in the description, but I also list out some of the exceptions. Except when you actually hit a stop, that every single route there will basically go to a nearby terminus, then you can walk to the terminus instead of wasting that trip. Just walk to the terminus and take from the terminus instead, because every single route will be going up there anyway, so what's the point of wasting a trip? Just take 2 stops. So the original rules for the 10 trips, 10 stops challenge in Hong Kong is you don't need to compensate for the amount of stops. Basically, if you actually boarded a trip like quite far away, but after less than 10 stops you hit the terminus, then you don't need to compensate in the next trip, just ignore it. But in this one, in my challenge today, in future Buscation challenge here in Perth, I'm not going to compensate. But today, we will compensate for this Buscation because I'm trying to gather 500 stops. That's why I'm going to compensate every single time when we actually did not hit 25 stops for one trip. We're adding extra stops to compensate in the next trip. So enough further talking, let's get inside and get started for the today's challenge. Now is 7:30 and let's get started. So before we get started, you can actually do whatever you want for this challenge. You can add in any extra twist that you want to do. Like the base thing is just take random trips and random stops. So that's why the base challenge for my version, I'm gonna set this one up in Perth, is you're gonna just randomly generate how many trips and how many stops you want to take. Whatever you want like 15 trips, 15 stops, I don't care. 16 stops, I don't care. You can also use the date to actually get the amount of trips. Like right now, you can actually do 6 trips, 22 stops. Today is June 22nd, so that's also how you can do that. And also you can add in extra rules to your challenge. I don't mind. This is a very free challenge that you can actually set up any rules that you want. Like for example, here, if you want to do it in Perth, you say, oh, I hate gas buses. I'm not going to take gas buses. Then you can actually add that into your rules. Like take whatever bus comes first, but if it's a gas bus, skip. That also can work. Or you can maybe say, oh, I only like swan routes. Then just take swan routes. I don't care. That's basically how free this challenge is. But we're gonna do no extra rules, just 20 trips, 25 stops, and add in extra compensation when I fail to get 25 stops. Now, exactly 7:30, we're gonna log into the app and we'll check out what the first bus that departs. And we'll take that for 25 stops. I don't know which one, there's tons of them, so let's just get in there. We got a 30 to Curtin. I really want to take that one. I just took one. Can I take this 283 instead? 283 deviating trip at stand 3. Let's do it. Here's the first trip for the day. Let's see what it is. B12 here for 283. 30:05. Let's get on board. Damn it! B12 left. We'll take the 9:30 instead. On board the 9:30, we're not going to film too many sections, we'll just film randomly. We'll hit Hamilton Street on Albany Highway. Running down Shepperton Road, I've already seen 2 bendy 9:30 towards Perth, Elizabeth Quay. That's pretty crazy. First trip done on 2173, getting off at stop number 10158 here. There are only 34 and 220, so that's why unfortunate the next one will be 34. Which the bad thing is because 34 terminates at Cannington, which is just over there. So that's why we will be just taking 7 stops and get off at Cannington. There's another freaking bendy for freaking 9:30. I've seen 3 Arctic B8s bendy and 1 B12 when I was traveling over here. Okay, never wait for a 34. We just take 7 stops to Cannington. Here's our 34, 2361. Well, like I said already, 7 stops and we're at Cannington Station, so we just take 7 stops at Cannington Station. Off of the 34, and now let's see what can we take here. Can we just run into one of these, because these are perfect for actually taking. Nice, we can take this 206 here. Perfect. All right, so on board I think it's 3058. So very decent choice with the Route 206 for this extra 18 stops for the 25 stops. So we need to take 43 stops for this trip, because last trip we only took 7. That means 18 stops are left behind. Normally, again, like I said, you don't need to compensate for stops, but for this challenge, for my 500 subscriber special, we're trying to take 500 stops. That's why we will actually take compensation. And Bunbury, I think is... Oh, I think it's... is it? I think, yes, Australian coming in here. But first we're gonna say perfect choice for the 206, because there's so many stops all the way to Murdoch University, and after 43 stops, I just counted it, it's like a dreams come true. It's getting off at Livingston. There's so many routes to choose from, really nice. And Australian, which they will be withdrawn and retire after the shutdown of Armadale Line. Carousel. And the thing is, today in the morning it's so cold that actually I'm blowing out. I'm literally blowing out smoke even inside the bus. I'm not even outside. That's so stupid. Made it to Thornley here. thing is, this stupid route is actually very long, so that's why when it reached like literally, it really like 20 stops, around like 15 to 20 stops before Thorney Station. So this is like literally the worst path for this bendy bus to run through. It's literally go through so many streets with all of these roundabouts spots. Damn. Alright, made it here at Livingston Marketplace stop, and I don't know what is going on here when this stupid bus is literally stopped here. Now I technically actually should be taking that one, but the thing is I just got off this one and then I bought this one. It's the same thing. No point, because 205, 206, they both go to Murdoch University. So I just rather just wait for both of them to leave first, then I wait for another one. Well, here comes two buses after 6 minutes, but unfortunately is that ironically, the last 206 I took is so delayed that the next 206 is already here. So unfortunately, the 207 is actually following behind this 206. But the first one come is 206, so we're just gonna take another 206. Basically, I took the full journey now. We take to Murdoch University. So, counted it, 22 stops to hit Murdoch University. So, we didn't hit 25, so that's why next trip we're adding 3 extra stops. Like I said again, compensation are not required for normal circumstances. But for this challenge that I'm doing today for 500 subscribers, it is a 500 stops. So that's why I will compensate to add it up to overall 500 stops. But for normal circumstances, when you do buscation challenges, you don't need to compensate. This path is now so lame because it needs to, because of the construction site and all of that road closure, 40 kilometers per hour. What? Made it to Murdoch Station. Alright, made it to Murdoch University, Discovery Way here. 2602. Now, because technically that's a stop over there, but every single thing will be going backwards. And this guy stopped it here, and basically every single driver will stop here. So that's why we're gonna wait for the 998. To Fremantle, let's do it. Here's our 998. 19 stops to Fremantle. So unfortunately, we cannot get 28 stops, like I said in the last trip, so that's why we're gonna add in 9 extra trips. Nice, 3305. Good one. We'll take 19 stops over and we'll add in extra stop for the next trip. Made Fremantle. First, before our next trip, we're gonna go in and take some snacks first because I'm hungry. So I'll see you guys after I eat. Alright, made it back outside after eating a sausage roll. That's awesome. This bus is getting ready to go. We have a 910 over there, but I just doubt that I can actually make it over there by walking. Let's try to get that 910 over there. On board the 910 here, 2914 towards Perth City Busport. After 34 stops, because actually the previous trip we only did 19, which we should be actually doing 28, but we only did 19, so that's why this trip we added 9 stops that we didn't actually take to the 25 that we do for base. So adding 34 stops, so it's over there right before Canning Bridge after 34 stops with the 910 here. But the thing is, all of those buses there is either 910 or the bus routes that go back to Elizabeth Quay. and also the 148, which just takes like few stops across the bridge. So that's why since I get off there, just to make it interesting, I'm gonna go back across the other side and take another one. Here we are at Apple Cross. We're getting off right here. There that goes. But now over here, all of the routes here are just Elizabeth Quay. Technically just all Elizabeth Quay. And there's a B here. And the East Perth 160, but basically they're just going back down to the city, which I don't really want to do right now, so that's why. Because the main point of this challenge is to go as far as you can. So that's why I'm gonna walk across the road and we'll go to that stop over there to catch a different direction. But we're not gonna catch the 910 because it's pointless to just take back, so I would take something else that comes. But unfortunately the 115 left earlier on, so that's why hopefully we can get a 114 or 160. Here comes our bus, Route 160, which I just filmed yesterday, but I filmed the other direction. 1970. Now 2910 already passes through already. So I basically already let 2910 passes me, and I now report the 160 here. So we end up at Charsley Street over there at North Lake Road. Unfortunately is that stop only have 160, so I'm gonna walk back up to the main road at Leach Highway to take a bus from there, which there's a 502 which goes to Bull Creek or Fremantle, so I'm not so sure which way I should take, so we'll decide later on. Which now we're back to 25 stops because we're done with compensating, so that's why now it's back to 25 stops. Made it to Buscation Bus Station. We'll continue our journey. Alright, made it to the Charsley Street stop. Let's get off. Alright, so like I said, this stop only has 160, so that's why we're not going to wait here. I'm gonna walk back up to Leach Highway, and it's just actually like straight, just literally down there. And we'll take the 502, which is running through that path over there. I will take to Bull Creek Station. I have thought about it because the other way is Fremantle, which basically I was just there. So what's the point of going over there just to make the video interesting? So that's why we'll go to Bull Creek and we will have good connections there with tons of routes. So I made it up here to Leach Highway, the bus stop, which is actually stop number 10829. And it started to rain. Oh my gosh. It started raining. So we have 18 more minutes for the next 502, so I'm just gonna wait for that and go to Bull Creek Station. Alright, here's our bus, 502. Finally, it's raining hardcore right now. At least there's a shelter. Not like last time at the 294 stop. 2792 here. So from the stop that we just got on, it will be 9 stop until Bull Creek Station. Made it to Bull Creek, and now before our next trip, I need to go to the toilet, so I'll see you guys soon. Well, here we are after the toilet break. 2791 on Swan with the 507. Let's get on board. This is actually the first bus that opened the door, so we're gonna take this one. So there are actually 4 routes departing at 12:10 at the same time. But this is the first bus that actually opened the door, so that's why we're taking this one. Last trip we only took 9 stops, so that means 16 stops left behind. We'll add in 16 to the 25, which is 41 stops for this trip, all the way over there in Linwood. And then I would change to another route from there, which from there we arrive, and then we just try to actually just to figure out things when we reach there. Passing through Wellington. Almost at Linwood. Alright, made it to Linwood. Now we actually need to run because we're actually trying to race with the 508, which is actually at a close by stop. We're gonna take the 508 for my 10th trip. So I'm trying to run here, which is actually a pretty far walk, so that's why, and it's coming in 4 minutes. So that's why we're running here. I'm gonna run by myself, and I'll see you guys later. That one's misleadingly far, that path. Oh my gosh. But we made it to 20218 here. And we're waiting for the 508, which is coming in 1 minute. Here's our 508. Let's get on board, 2460. So, after the last trip, we have finished compensating, but this time we're not going to take all the way to the end, which actually is less than 25 stops. We're not going to take all the way to the end because now it's around lunch hour. Oh my gosh, I'm still trying to catch my breath. It's around lunch hour, so that's why I'm just gonna go out to Cannington Shopping Center to get off for lunch. So that is, I think, 16 stops. So just finished looping that Ferndale area. Now just go back to Cannington, binds with the 507 path. Made it to Carousel, which we were just here in the morning. Off it goes, and now it's lunchtime for me. I'm gonna go into Carousel with lunch. Alright, after lunch I went through from the back to the front here to Cecile Avenue, because at the back we only have the 280, which actually goes far. All the other routes will just terminate at Cannington Station. So I'd just rather come back out here and actually have more choices. And I'm gonna actually take a route from this spot over here. So all of those routes is just basically back to Murdoch. These routes are basically back to Murdoch. So that's why, and Bull Creek, I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm just gonna come here and I'm just gonna take a route from here. Technically, you see it's the 507 coming in again. So that's why I don't want to do that. There's a 72 following, so I can take the 72. And 72, here it is, gas bus, 1397. Last trip we only took 16 stops on the 508, so that's why we added an extra 9 stops due to 25 stops we didn't complete. So 9 stop extra, we're doing 34 stops this trip, which is all the way over there before Victoria Park transfer station. Down at Wilson right now because this route is the route that actually needs to loop down here, which is pretty stupid. Made it to Curtin. Thanks. I almost messed up the stop. I actually pressed the bell a little early. I thought that's the stop, but this is the stop, so 11741. Now we're not gonna wait for the 75 because it's basically the same thing. So I'm gonna walk out to the main road and we'll probably get a 960 from there. Alright, here's another gas bus for 960. It's to Mirrabooka too, so that's why I can actually take 25 stops. 1912, this thing sucks. Here we go. After the first 10 trips, we loop down south. Now, I think for this 10 trips at the back here, we'll be actually up north because we're up here at Dianella afterwards at ECU campus. Now, if I got a ECU terminating 960, we'll be terminating right here, which will be actually 23 stops, not 25. So luckily I got a Mirabuko and then I can get 25 stops here. And also, like I said, terrible front seats. Look at this. I cannot even fit my legs cannot even fit. Look at this. Back across causeway since the first trip. Perth passport.
My phone's gonna die, that's what I'm saying, man.
Alright, done with trip 12. I'm actually feeling way better after this trip. I don't know why. Because probably maybe I'm actually helping someone to actually fix problems. But the problem is, I only got 960 for the stop. This is actually a bad one. I thought there was actually the limited stops route, but apparently they only stop at the ECU campus stop over there. So that's kind of bad. I can technically walk back down there and try to get a 360 or 361. Maybe I'll figure it out. Decided to move over here, just a turn from the 960 stop. So, just a turn from the 960 stop and we'll board a 20 to Morley here. So the full journey is 25 stops. So that's why we're not taking full journey, so we're taking 19 stops to Morley. On board 2007. I don't know what's wrong with this 960. There's a person on board freaking counting coins. Luckily I didn't take that one. Jeez Louise. Made it to Coventry Village. We have a few more stops to go to Morley Bus Station. And made it to Morley Bus Station. Alright, here we are at Morley here. We have a 48 ready to go. Let's just board that right away to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. We won't be getting it to Elizabeth Quay, that's for sure, but just get on board and hope for something else later on. Well, on board the 48, and it's not according to plan, because at the spot that we're going to get off will be all routes going back to Elizabeth Quay. So we're going to go back to Elizabeth Quay after 15 trips, because it's the 14th trip here. We take 31 stops because we missed 6 stops for the 20. So we're gonna take all the way to that stop over there, very close to Mayland Station. I've literally no idea where this route actually goes. It's actually so long. We're still not even at Bayswater. This route will pass for Bayswater later on. Made it to Bayswater, and look at Bayswater Station. That looks pretty damn nice right now. Although Mark did actually send me a picture last time of the escalator inside the station. It's literally only fit for one slim person for that escalator, which is really stupidly designed. Alright, made it to the 31st stop from the terminus. At least this stand actually has a shelter and all 4 routes are available, so it should be easy wait. There that goes. That's a 000, so it doesn't count. Now we wait for whichever one will come next. We'll just take to Elizabeth Quay. Meant. That's pretty funny. Here's our 41. Looks like a pretty brand new bus. 27:46, not really. It's pretty empty. Considerably pretty empty. Why does guy need to stop back here when I'm standing right there? 17 stops to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. Literally everyone boarded the 48 I just took earlier on. So that's why the 48 is so miserable earlier on, because every single stop has people getting on. But for this 41 is so smooth because no one is boarding. All the people boarded the 48 already, so. Made it back down to Forest Place. Is it Forest Square or Forest Place? I actually don't know the name. No. A gas bus doing a cat service. And it says continues to Rain Square. What is that? That's a dead bus though. That's pretty funny. Alright, made it to Elizabeth Quay. Good luck to the driver actually getting rid of that dude on the freaking bus. He's literally screaming on the bus. Screw that crap. Now I actually need to go up and go to the toilet before our next trip, so see you guys in a second. That's so lame. Right as I come down, it just left. The stupid 940. Alright. Well, this 39 opened the door, so I just gotta get on. Screw that. 1374. That will be the stop that we're getting off over there. Very close to Belmont. First time crossing the causeway was in the morning, like early 7:45 or something. Now, once again, after 10 hours, crossing the causeway. Double 935 at the front. With a 39 follows, 3 buses. We're inside the suburb, looping. This is actually one of the worst routes if you just want to go to Redcliffe Station. Don't take this route if you want to go to Redcliffe Station. It's the worst choice. Literally takes like double the time of the 940. Going up to Kewdale, there's a 999 on the other side and a 998 on this side. Oh, 999 on this side, 998 on the other side. Alright, here we are at the stop. We'll get off right here. There goes 1374. Now, I didn't actually say, but that trip was 33 stops because the previous trip on the 41 was 17, so that's why we took 33 to compensate. And unfortunately, is actually this stop is 39 and 284. Now, there is actually a 284 coming in, but the next one will be coming in is actually another 39. And there are actually no stop close by that actually have a different route. So I'm just gonna wait here for trip 17, will be also 39. Which, the funny thing is, I already counted it. 25 stops after 25 stops. It is Redcliffe Station. Yes, I didn't troll you guys. Go ahead and log into the app and check. After 25 stops from this stop right here, after the corner, 28054. After 25 stops from this stop is Redcliffe Station. I didn't troll you guys. You can go and check it out. So that's why. I'll wait for the next 39. We take to Redcliffe Station. Here we are, 39. Looks like a future bus to me. Is that future bus? No. We have 2388. Okay. Well, because it's nighttime, you guys cannot see jack shit, but we'll take 25 stops to Redcliffe Station. Somewhere in Belmont. Can't see anything, so that's why. And also, this is the worst path too. Too many turns for the stupid 39. Literally, I have no idea why is this route so long. Literally, the first half I got off for the last trip, trip 16. This is trip 17. I already got on for 20 minutes and we're still not even there yet. What the hell? The last trip was like also around 25 to 30 minutes. So this thing is like 1 hour long. What the hell? This 39. Finally, Redcliffe Station. All of the buses I want to take already left. Oh my gosh. But as soon as I get off, we're actually going to activate the nighttime exception rule, which we're gonna start for the last 3 trips. I'm gonna plan out my journey instead, because it is nighttime. It's gonna be scary if I take to random places. So that's why at nighttime, this is one of the exceptions that you can plan your journey to make sure you go back home safely. So first things first, we're gonna get off and try to hopefully see in 292, because 292 changed from Swan to Path after Lakeland Station opens. And also with the stupid stand 3A over here, I want to see what it is there that I saw during the airport line shutdown, that they have a freaking stand 3A randomly in the middle of nowhere. I don't know whether it's still there. There's actually a blank stand right here. I think that's probably the stand 3A thing. Getting off time. Arrived at Redcliffe with 2388. Now we wait for our 935 back out. So here's our 935 that we'll be taking, TP 2721. We'll take to I don't know how to pronounce that one. Kuyong Road, because I'm gonna have dinner there. 2721, it just finished a 293 service, and now it's 935. So it should be taking 25 stops, but I'm gonna take 26 stops instead because it's closer to my restaurant, so that's why. Nice, at least we can see something at least. Traveling back down to Belmont now, and then we'll go to my restaurant I want to eat, and then we'll continue our journey back home. And we have 2 remaining trips after this one, which I will have already planned it out to go back home. So unfortunate is that even I want to plan it to go back home, I still need to actually complete the amount of stops, so that's why. Another double 935, just one was back already. Here's the second one right there, and return into Belmont Forum here. That's exactly what my reaction for that is. Don't ask me where this is because I also don't know. I think we're on Kuyong Road, but literally can't see shit, so don't know. And made it to Great Eastern Highway. We're gonna get off here. There goes to Kings Park. I've been basically day rider the full day already. So I basically, like, after the first 5 trips, my car is basically no charge. So now I'm gonna go to Cold Sushi, which is just in here, which I have filmed before. So you guys can check out that eating video, and I'll see you guys for trip 19, which is after this. Alright, finished eating, walked out from Kuyong Road, just around the corner to the 270 or the 940 stop. Now we're just gonna take this down to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. Oh, it's not. Okay, here's our 940. I thought it was a gas bus, apparently it's not. So 2474. Let's drive down Great Eastern Highway, 12 stops to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station. Victoria Park Transfer Station, which technically the fastest way for me to go back, of course, is from here. I take the 960, but because we need to take to Elizabeth Quay for 12 stops, and I would take the 34 instead. Not gonna film the causeway this time. I filmed the causeway for 3 times today, so let's not do it again. The nighttime St. George's Terrace under the heavy rain. Turning in to Elizabeth Quay Bus Station, the third time that I'm here today. And off Elizabeth Quay with 2474. Now we head to Zone A for my last trip for the day, which is of course, my lovely 34. So with our last trip will be the 34 because of the nighttime exception rule. So I can plan how I want to go back. So this is the last trip for this Buscation video, and the 500 subscriber special. We'll be taking the 34. I'll be going back home to Curtin University. Unfortunate is that I cannot get off my local stop because I need to get to 500 stops, which will be that stop over there. Which after that, I'm just gonna walk back to my place. But we need to get there. So last time for the 940, we took 12 stops, which we should be taking 24 stops. So that means 12 stops left behind. So this one we're taking 25 plus 12, which is 37. So which is all the way over there. So. And then that will be officially 500 stops taken on buses in one day. Technically, it's actually 20 trips, 25 stops. But technically, a lot of trips are not 25 stops. But overall, that's the concept for this Buscation challenge thing. So everyone else, feel free to try it. Of course, this is the most extreme way to do it. That's why when you guys want to try to film this thing, maybe have your own version of it. Don't do 20 trips, 25 stops. That's ridiculous. Do like 15 trips, 15 stops or something like that. That would be easier. Or if you want to do, just stick with 10 trips, 10 stops. But 10 trips, 10 stops here in Perth, you won't be getting anywhere after 10 stops. So that's why I do a little bit more here. Well, we'll wait for our 34 now. And here's our 34. Of course, it is a gas bus, which is already expected. So let's get on board. Hopefully it's not the same bus I've taken today. Oh my gosh, it's 103. TP0103. Front seat's taken, which is good. I don't want the front seat. Nighttime Quinana Freeway. Running down South Perth here. Well, literally can't see crap. Let's try to actually increase the light a little bit. Somewhere near South Perth / Como here. Made it to Penrose College. And made it to Como Secondary College. This is the sign that they always have. Well, here we go, passing through my local stop, but I can't get off. Which is right there, just passed. Unfortunate. We need to take a few more stops before we end the challenge. 3 more stops to stop 500. And also I want to say is this gas bus sucks. Because it's raining hardcore right now. Later on when I get off, I'm pretty screwed, but this gas bus sucks, man. The water just dripping down through the ceiling. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, I'm so screwed here. We're at our stop 500. I'm so screwed right now because it's raining so hard and this is in the middle of nowhere and I need to walk back. It's literally impossible actually. So, oh my gosh, but we have done it. 500 subscribers, 500 stops. Here we are at stop 11943. And that's where we're going to end today's challenge. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for all of the support over the years. And we'll continue to bring you more content here in Perth. And of course, when I go back to Hong Kong, we'll have Hong Kong videos as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this 500 subscriber special video, Buscation. And hopefully, hopefully this idea can inspire more Perth viewers to actually do this challenge and spread it out. Remember to like and subscribe, click the bell so that you can get notifications when I post. Check out the links in the description down below for my other channels and my Instagram. Click on these videos out here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!